Come on. Hey everybody, it's Shelly. I don't know what's going on. My internet's acting weird or something, or my computer, because things are a little slow today. Anyways, I am going to talk about how to attract money into your life. So whether you want to be rich or whether you want to be a philanthropist or whether you want to go on vacation or have a better house or drive a better car or eat better food, all of that in our society involves spending money. And so we can put out there that, oh, money can't buy happiness. Money can buy happiness. Money can buy vacations. Money can buy great houses. Money can buy giving to other people and helping other people. Money is awesome. So that is how you attract money, is saying that money is awesome. How I started attracting money into my life, which it was like that thing that you wanted, like from the time I started watching The Secret and saying, oh, I want more money. And then you're like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. And then you kind of like go, okay, well, what am I going to do with the money? Like if $1 million dropped in my lap right now, what would I do with it? Would it stress me out? Would I be freaked out? Would, if I won the lottery, would all these people be, like, oh, can I borrow some money? Can I have some money? Can you buy me a car? Can you, like, that, does that freak you out and stress you out? Or are you like, oh, I just help everybody? Or, like what is the real thoughts? Like once the excitement dies down, if you say you won $10 million and the excitement wore down, like you scratched it off or you checked your numbers, you're like, oh my God, it's $10 million. It's amazing. I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And then you go claim the money and then you actually have the money. And then what? After all that excitement wears off, what happens? How many, fifth cousins get a hold of you? How many of your friends from high school that haven't talked to you forever get a hold of you? Like, does that stuff stress you out, or are you just like, I'll just handle it? So the thing with money is you have to love money, and you can't just love money coming into your life. You have to love money going out of your life. You have to know how awesome money is. You have to appreciate money. When you get your paycheck and you're like, oh, as soon as I get my paycheck, I pay all my bills and I've got like $50 left in the bank. Okay, but what did those bills pay? Like, did they pay for your house, your car, your electricity, your phone? Like, all those things are things that you are working at keeping or providing for yourself. So your paycheck's not gone. Your paycheck has paid for all these things that you need to be grateful for. When you have $50 left in your checking account, are you grateful for that $50, or are you pissed because that's all you have left? Like, those are the differences in attracting money. If you're mad, something's going to happen. Like a bill that you forgot about that's $40 is going to show up. But if you're happy about it, someone's going to come forward and go, hey, that $200 I borrowed from you like a year ago? Well, I can pay it back to you now. Like, stuff like that happens when you start loving money and appreciating it. It's amazing the places it comes from. It's amazing the places it comes from. Just as amazingly difficult as it is when you don't like money and you stress about money and it always goes away from you. When you love it and appreciate it, it always comes to you in all these different ways. Just like that flat tire, that friend who owed you $200. Just like that, the dog needs his shots and you forgot about it. Is the, refund for your whatever that you forgot about. Like, those are the things that happen. Those are the things that happen. That's how the law of attraction works. Whatever you think, feel, and act on on a consistent basis is what you're going to get back. So when you get your paycheck and you look at it and there's that amount, you know, whether it's on the computer, on your bank account, or if you actually get a check, budget that check out. And when you budget it out and you pay your rent or mortgage, say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the house that I live in. I hope to have a better house soon, but I love that I can pay for this house. When you pay your electric bill, thank you, thank you, thank you for the electricity, and that I can just flick on a light and it comes on, or I can turn on my computer. Thank you for the internet bill, because I can have internet and be connected with all these things and have all these opportunities. And then another great way, so you do that, you start just being really grateful for the money coming in. Of course, everybody's grateful for that money coming in, but be grateful for that money coming out, because it's a flow of money. It's meant to flow. It's not meant to keep and hang on to, and, oh, if I don't keep it, you know, other people are going to steal it from me. No, it's meant to be spent. Some of it's meant to be saved if you have a goal. If you want like several months worth of whatever in the bank, that's important that you have that. But you definitely want to be in the flow of money. So that's the first thing I started doing, is just being really grateful for the money coming in as well as the money going out. Being grateful what that money going out pays for. Was it a doctor bill? Thank you for me being able to afford to go to the doctor. Was it, you know, the kid's yearbook? Thank you that he gets to have a yearbook and remember his time in high school for the rest of his life. I still have my yearbook 30 years later or whatever it is. So the second thing that I did when I started attracting money on a better level was I kept money in my wallet. And I literally started out with a $5 bill. And I just always had $5 on me. And that way, like, if someone was like, hey, you want to get coffee? I knew I had that $5. So it was never like, you know, some people, $5 cup of coffee at Starbucks or Dutch Brothers or whatever, you can't afford that. And so when you have that $5, you're like, oh, I can totally afford that. And you can always, even if you're not going to spend it, and then start increasing it. So say this week you can afford to put $5 or maybe even $1 in your wallet. And then like in a month when you get paid, you're like, oh, wow, I have a little bit more left over from my paycheck. So instead of $5, or I'm going to add to that $5 and I'm going to put a $10 bill in there. So now you have $15. Now you have a lunch. Like if someone asked you to go to lunch today, you have $15. You know, you could get the lunch special and pay the tip and you'd still have that money. You'd still be able to afford it. Or if you went to the store and you were like, oh, I really want to get the name brand of blah, blah, blah instead of the generic brand because it really is better. Miracle Whip comes to mind. I'm not a Miracle Whip eater, but my husband is. And I tried to get a bargain a few weeks ago and I got the store brand dressing Miracle Whip and he was like, nope. So we went and spent the extra couple bucks and got the Miracle Whip. So things like that start to happen. Like, I'm going to buy Miracle Whip instead of the store brand. I really want those shoes. Pretty soon you have $50 in your wallet. You know, oh, I really want those shoes, you know, and you know you can afford them. It doesn't mean you're going to buy them, but in your head, it starts changing your programming. I can afford those $50 shoes. I can afford to take my friend to lunch. I can afford to put a whole tank of gas in my car. Like those are the things that start going through your head. And pretty soon you will have hundreds of dollars in your wallet if you choose to. I got to that point and it was so beneficial because I was at a garage sale and this guy had all these sports jerseys. They were baseball, hockey, football, and then there were some like cycling jerseys, you know, the ones that the cyclists wear that have the pockets in the back. And I knew that those were good. And those were actually what I was looking through at first. And then I was like, how much for the cycling jerseys? And he said, oh, $5 each. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but I know I can get, at the time, I knew I could get like 20 or 30 for them. So I was like, So I started kind of picking them out. And then I remembered I had like $500 or $600 in my wallet because we had been going to storage auctions. So I literally had that cash in my wallet. And I started looking through, and there were some hockey jerseys, and I knew those went really well. And there was football jerseys, which were so-so, and there was some baseball and basketball. And I was just like, and there was a whole rack of them. I mean, I kind of like tried to like, count them really quick. And, I was like, there's got to be like close to 100 here. I said, how much do you want for all the jerseys? Like this whole rack worth of jerseys. And he was like, let me think about it. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to look around at your other stuff and you think about it and let me know. And so, I walked around for a few minutes and asked a few other questions about things. And then I went back and I said, and he says, how about $300? And I really should have talked him down, but I was just like, that's like, if I'm thinking there's around 100 jerseys and stuff there, that's like $3 a piece. That's worth it because I know some of those are going to be worth $100. So I was just like, okay, right there. And he's like, really? And I said, yeah, if you'll help me load them into the back of my van, I'll take them. And so I gave him the $300. I said, do you want your hangers back? He goes, no, you can keep them. And so I loaded. It ended up being, when I got it home, it was like 83 of them. And I still have a few, but a few of those I literally sold for like $90 to $100. Like just selling a couple of those, or a few of those, I paid for the whole lot. It takes time to do that, but I had that cash in my wallet. So it just perpetuates. And then the other thing that I did, so I started being really grateful and thanking the universe and being happy about the flow of money and getting really excited about paying bills. And then I made sure I had cash in my pocket or my wallet. So my mentality shifted. So when I was at Walmart and I wanted that, I really want that makeup, I can afford it. Did I buy it? I might have, but I did know that I could afford it because I knew I had that cash in my wallet. And then the next thing that I did was I started to say, I love money because it comes when I call. And I got that from Jake Ducey. If you're not watching Jake Ducey, I encourage it. He's got a couple little things about the situation right now that get a little kind of negative, but for the most part, he's great. And Jake Ducey taught me to say that. I love money because it comes when I call. I love money because it comes when I call. And so I'd be like, okay, I'm going to need $20 for blah, blah, blah. And then I just let it go. I love money because it comes when I call. I called out for $20 and then something would happen. Like 20 minutes later, I would sell something on eBay or Poshmark and my profit on that would be $20. And I'm like, thank you, universe. And it would just happen like that. And so then that starts shifting your mind and changing your programming. You're like, wow, when I really call for money, it comes because I love it. I appreciate it. The other thing that the little example was, when you think about like a relationship with like a new girlfriend or boyfriend or a new friend or whatever, and you take them to a party and you treat them like money, they wouldn't stick around. And that's why money doesn't stick around for a lot of people. If you brought somebody to a party to meet all your friends and it was money, and you were like, money's like kind of taboo, like, oh yeah, I've got money, but I'm not going to tell you how much I make. And, I really love money and I'd love to win the lottery. But if I do, I'm going to keep you at arm's length and don't ask me about money. So you think about that, like a guy bringing a girlfriend to a party or a girl bringing a boyfriend to a party, and everybody's like excited about it because it's like, oh my God, you got a new boyfriend. And well, what's his name? Well, his name's, but I'm just going to keep him in this corner right here. And I really don't want anybody talking about him or, like, I'm happy that he's there and everything. And then that guy that you brought, which is money, is like, whoa, like, why aren't you really like introducing me to all your friends and telling them how great I am, And that's kind of what we do with money. It's like, at your job, like it's hush hush. Like, how much does he make? Oh, I don't know. I didn't, oh, I caught a glimpse of what everybody makes. And oh my God, can you believe so-and-so makes this much? And oh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. And that's just like a privacy thing, but it's true. And then it's like, well, how much did you pay for that car? Oh, it was under 20, or whatever. Like, I don't really want to tell you. If you treated people like that, like, oh, well, he's your new boyfriend. Oh, well, his name's Scott, but I'm not, I don't really want to, well, where'd you meet him? Oh, I can't really talk about that. And, well, what does he do for a living? Oh, he does, he has a good job, but it's just like, can you imagine talking about a person the way we talk about money? And it's like, you have to talk about money better. Like, how are you guys doing? We're doing great. Financially, we're doing awesome. We've got more than enough money in the bank. Just bought a new car. My business is thriving. He's working overtime. He's really enjoying his job now. Kiddo's flying to Florida on Saturday. Like, honestly, those are all things that have happened. My kid's flying to Florida on Saturday. My husband is enjoying his job again and making really good money. My business is booming. I have a brand new car. Well, it's brand new to me, but I have my dream car in the driveway. Like, all of those things have happened, and it started to happen when all that stuff started to click. Another huge thing, and I need to start getting back into doing this, is tithing. And if you're hearing this and you're like, but Shelly, I don't tithe because I don't belong to a church. The cool thing about tithing, and there's a difference between tithing and donating. So donating is like, the Humane Society, you really want to support the pets, or, breast cancer awareness, or, for the cure and everything. Like, you give to that. That's donations. That's great. And that will come back to you tenfold too. But tithing is this different level of giving. And what it is it's giving to something that has inspired you or helped you. And so for a lot of people, that's their church or their religious establishment, because they appreciate it. It gives them faith. They have, community there. That's great. There's nothing wrong with tithing to your church, and you should if you belong to a church. But if you don't belong to a church, it's tithing to, like, you read a really good book and it really improved your outlook. You can find that author and tithe to them. Say, hey, your book really inspired me. I just wanted to share my wealth with you a little bit. Is there any way I could send you some money? And it could be $5. It could be, what is going on over there? I'm sorry. My neighbor's having a yard sale. Anyways, it could be $5. It could be 10% of your income, which is like the norm. It could be, once a year you get your tax refund back and you tithe it to something amazing. I've tithed to my husband. I've tithed to my kids. I've tithed to friends that have helped me. I've one week my daughter just totally inspired me, like reminded me to be kind or to, change my attitude about something. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I really needed that. I was really getting into a crappy place and you really lifted me out of that. So I made this much on my reselling business and I'm going to give you 10%. I've done it with my husband. He's helped me see the light sometimes when I'm struggling or whatever. And I've tithed to him. Here's, $50 cash because I made $500 this week. Go spend it on you. Go buy something for you. That's tithing, is giving to someone or some establishment that has inspired you. So it could be to, a waitress because she just was so bubbly and just lifted your mood. Yeah, you're giving her a great tip, but in your head, it's a tithe because she made your day better. She inspired you that day. That's tithing. And I need to get back into that because that helps so much. And it literally comes back to you tenfold. You give somebody $10 within a few days or a week or so, you're going to get $100 back. And it's going to come in these crazy ways. For me, it seems to come with my reselling business, but it's come in other ways too. You know, in the last couple years, I've had over $100,000 dropped in my lap all at once. And it's interesting what happens to people when that money is there. Because when you are a happy person, it doesn't matter if really good things or really bad things happen to you. You can have those knee-jerk reactions in the beginning, but how you decide to respond to it all shows the kind of person you are. Whenever something major happens, whether it's good or bad, it accentuates your perspective and your personality. So if you're a super grumpy, negative person and $1 million drops in your lap, you're going to bitch and complain about it the whole time. If you are a super duper happy person and your car breaks down, you might be like, you know, at first, but then you're like, you know what, this is happening for a reason. And then you end up taking it to the mechanic and you find out the mechanic's wife is also a reseller, and, you know, she has a whole bunch of stuff she wants to get rid of and she's just going to give it away. Do you want it? And you get it. Like, those things happen when you're just a happy person, even in contrast, because that contrast is always pushing you to something else. But when you're an unhappy person, whether it's good or bad, the contrast just pushes you towards more negativity and just proving that how horrible the world is. And if it's good, you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop and it's going to end up bad anyways. So that's how money is too. You get a pile of money dropped in your lap, or somebody buys your car and pays you more than you wanted for it, or somebody pays you back the money they owed you from 2 years ago, and you're a happy person, you're going to be super grateful, and it's going to affirm what you've been doing yesterday and last week and last month and last year. It's going to affirm all that. So that's how you attract money, is you start knowing how awesome money is. You start being grateful for it. You start carrying it. You start repeating in your head or out loud if you're alone, I love money because it comes when I call. And at first, it's going to feel foreign. It's going to feel like, oh, yeah, I love money because it comes when I call. Well, what about, you know, I don't have enough money to buy food this week. Well, I love money because it comes when I call. How much money do you need for food this week? Put it out there. Put it out there. Don't beg for it. Just put it out there and go, okay, now I'm going to go to my kitchen and see what I can make with what I have and be grateful for that. And that money or that food will literally happen. It will. It's just amazing. When you start changing your attitude about money and abundance and material things, because we're in a material world, because we're having this physical experience on earth with all these physical things, with these, you know, tables and chairs and clothes, and our bodies are physical. Like, enjoy it. We're here to enjoy this physical experience. So do it. Just enjoy it and have fun and love money. You don't have to love money like I love money more than I love my family. No. But loving money so you can do great things with your family, so you can take your family to Disneyland, so you can drive your family around in a nice vehicle and house your family in a nice house and have nice things. That's what we're here for. And those nice things might be, you know, the biggest TV we can find, or those nice things might be all the crystals and, you know, the altar in the middle of our living room. Like, it's different for everybody. You don't have to be like, I need to drive a Rolls Royce and live in a mansion. Some people are super happy living in a simple little studio apartment with a Prius in the driveway. And other people are happy living in a mansion with, you know, 10 cars in the garage. So whatever that happiness is for you, it can be yours. You don't have to like adhere to some like, oh, well, I can't be rich because that's not what I want. No, you want to be rich in your own way. And that's the greatness about this, is you can be rich and abundant in your own way. But it starts with being friends with money and learning to appreciate and love money for what it brings into your life. Not for what it is, but it's energy that brings things into your life. You know, you put out energy, you get money back and then you spend that on other things. Like, when you spend it on the electric bill, you're employing all those, electric company workers that climb the poles and do the bills and take the phone calls. Like, you're providing for that. Anyways, with that, 25 minutes in, ranting away here. You guys all have a happy Tuesday. I'm making fajitas tonight. They're going to be yummy. I got to go get some bell peppers. So have a great Tuesday. Hit the like button, thumbs up. That would be great. And subscribe and hit the bell if you want to know when I'm going live. Thank you for whoever was watching. If you ever want to leave comments, go ahead. If you ever have any ideas for what you want me to do a video on, put it in the comments and I will do my best to do it. Bye.